Hey guys, Dr. Justin Marcagiani here in the house. Today we're going to be chatting about food allergies. Why do you have extreme food sensitivities? Every single food you are reacting to. We're going to break down the physiology and what's happening under the hood. And before we do, please smash that like button. Helps the search algorithm. And love to know what you guys are thinking about the video. Put your comments down below. So, food allergies, right? What's a food allergy reaction? Essentially, food allergies are nothing more than your immune system, which is responding to those foods like it's a threat, right? Kind of like allergies to pollens and danders and things like that. You're overreacting like it's a virus, if you will. And so your immune system, 80% of it's in the gut. And so when you put food inside your tummy, it's still actually outside the body, but you have immune cells in the gullet and the malt that are responding to that food. And it can create things like skin, rashes. You can have histamine issues like hives or urticaria, brain fog, fatigue. You could have like a lot of bloating or constipation or diarrhea, which could be food allergy issues. And that can create inflammation. So why is that happening? So first, just the nature of the food. Certain foods tend to be more inflammatory, whether there's an anti-nutrient load, whether it's gluten, whether it's processed sugar, more inflammatory excess omega-6 processed vegetable, nut, or seed oils. Think canola, think safflower, think soy, nuts or seeds, things that have high lectin or anti-nutrient content. These can be irritating to your gut. And so if your gut's already compromised and you create more inflammation, well, guess what? 80% of your immune cells are in the intestinal tract, and they're more likely to react to those foods that are in there. So look at the foods. That's the first thing. Foods can be problematic, especially if the foods are bad. Second thing is you're not breaking the foods down well. So you could have low enzyme, low acid, low bile salts, and just not breaking the foods down well. You see these big globules of food. It's kind of like lactose intolerance. You don't break down the lactose in the milk sugar, big globules of lactose, and the body responds usually with diarrhea and things like that. And so just not breaking down that food increases the chance of food intolerance, not breaking it down. So support enzymes, support HCl, support bile, especially if you're having a hard time breaking down fat. Look at the ability to break those foods down. Now, you could have imbalance in the gut microbiome. You could have a dysbiosis or a SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. That could be a thing as well, where the bacteria is more skewed to more bad bacteria than good bacteria, and that could be creating more stress. Beneficial bacteria in your gut's going to eat or ferment the food, and it's going to poop out or excrete nutrients. It's going to take whatever is in your stool, it's going to eat it and provide nutrition. Bad bacteria is going to eat your nutrients, and it's going to actually provide more toxins, more endotoxins, more lipopolysaccharides, etc., things that are more stressful on the body. And so that can be harder on the body. So you got to look at that. So imbalance in gut bacteria. Then you have infections. You have things like H. pylori that could be overactivating the immune system. It could be, which can also make low stomach acid. You have fungal overgrowth, candida. Candida, especially when carbs come into the mix, you can spit off a whole bunch of acetaldehyde, which can be stressful on the liver, create brain fog, almost make you feel drunk after a meal. So candida is a big one. You're going to have other types of infections like blastocystis hominis or D. fragilis or Entamoeba histolytica, cryptosporidium, giardia. These are all parasites. They could be stressful on the gut. You could have Clostridium difficile, C. diff. These are common gut bugs that could be a stressor on your body that you have to keep an eye on. Right? And that's why a good comprehensive stool test is essential. That's why a really good elimination provocation diet is essential. Following my 6 R's is going to be really important. Removing the bad foods, the first R. Replacing the enzymes and acids, maybe supporting motility is the third R. Or second R. Or third R is going to be, so we have remove the bad foods, replace the enzymes and acids, repair the gut lining. There's a lot of inflammation or gut lining integrity issues. We may want to really work on supporting that, whether it's glutamine or glycine, healing amino acids to help those enterocytes recover. It could be things like healing, soothing, anti-inflammatory herbs like aloe or DGL, slippery elm, and N-acetyl D-glucosamine, right? Good nutrients to help with the gut lining integrity. And then fourth R, we work on removing the bugs. I like to build everything up. 80% of the immune system is in the gut. And so if you don't have those first 3 R's dialed in, you're going to be in this place of hyper reactivity. Inflammation is going to drive that. So we have to really get those first 3 R's lined up. Removing the bad foods, replacing the enzymes and acids into bile salts, repairing the gut lining, maybe supporting motility if we have chronic constipation, because we can reabsorb potential fecal debris if we're not moving it out of our body in 24 hours or less. Really important. And also, sometimes people's limbic system is just in overdrive. That amygdala, that brain stem response, they're in fight or flight all the time. And so it can be important to look at the adrenals, see where that cortisol rhythm is, see how dysregulated the HPA axis is. Sometimes it's good to do different things from an energetic, psychological technique wise to help calm down the amygdala, help calm down that limbic response. The amygdala is part of that brainstem. That's your primitive fight or flight response. And if you're always responding from that part of the brain, right? Oh my gosh, always in this panic mode, that can cause your body and your immune system to not digest, cause your immune system to be hypersensitive, hyperreactive. And so doing things like breathing through the nose, deep nasal breathing activates the vagus nerve, prayer, gratitude, meditation. There's different things you can do, whether it's EFT or EMDR with eye movement techniques, NLP. There's some different visualizations that you can do. There's different programs out there. I'll put a couple down below that I like, whether it's DNRS or the Gupta program. I'll put my link down there for the Gupta program, justinhealth.com/Gupta. There's a free 1 month on that, which I love it. So you can just test it out for a month. See if you like it. See what you think. That's a good one out of the gates, just to get your limbic system, your amygdala, that fight or flight response under control. Look at the adrenals. See how overstimulated the adrenals are. Maybe your cortisol rhythm's reversed or flat. Maybe you have chronically low DHEA. If you're a woman, maybe you have very low progesterone or low hormones in general. And that could be a big stressor because progesterone opens the GABA chloride channels, which helps GABA is an inhibitor, so it helps the nervous system kind of relax and chill out. And so if that GABA is depleted or that progesterone is low, that could play a big role. Also, are your neurotransmitters depleted, right? Low dopamine, low adrenaline, and neurotransmitters all come from protein. So if we have this chronic food allergy issue, we're not breaking foods down, that could also be a big deal as well. So keep that in mind, guys. Hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. If you want to dive in deeper and you want to reach out to someone like myself, my staff, my team will be able to help you on the functional medicine side worldwide. If you want to dive in, link down below if you want to reach out and connect. Links down below for things that I recommend regarding products and supplements and the different programs to help with the brain retraining can be helpful as well, all down below. Feel free to let me know, guys, and you can get my coordinates down there as well. All right, guys, have a phenomenal day. Take care. Bye now.